Hello. Hey guys. Yes, that was 10 minutes of starting soon. Um, Sorry, Frank. How's it going tonight, by the way? Good to see you. Yeah, we were out this evening at a get together, and we got back a little bit close to stream start. So I was scrambling madly, and also taking a few minutes to talk with Ashlee while we were sitting on stream starting soon. But hey, we're here. I wanted y'all to know I was gonna stream, and I am streaming, and here I am. So welcome everyone. If you're new here, I don't usually go for 10 minutes of stream starting soon. This was more than usual, but um, it's not your fault. But I am here. I'm Jeff, or you can call me Wags. This is Wagworks GA, and yeah, that's kind of the name that my wife and I use for our creative efforts. I'm the G, she's the A, Ashlee, and we make kids comics together. So you'll see some of that on stream sometimes. Not tonight. Tonight I'm working on kind of a tradition I've been doing since 2020, doing a Lunar New Year illustration for the zodiac animal that the year will be. So this is a year of the fire horse. So we'll be jumping into that in a little bit. What else is going on? What else is going on tonight? Yeah. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But happy Thursday. We've got Valentine's Day coming up. If you celebrate that, if you have friends or a significant other to celebrate that with, I hope you have a delightful one. And then shortly after that, on Tuesday, we'll have the Lunar New Year, which will be cool. Yeah. So I just catching my breath a little bit from getting back and getting kids in bed and getting set up as quickly as I could. All right, so, well, do I have any updates on anything? You guys, I did it. I actually caught up on YouTube. Tomorrow, last week's video will post. It's up there and scheduled. I just didn't want to have multiples in a day. The week before, posted today. So I finally did it. I caught up. So then I will just have tonight's stream to post over the next week, which that should be Wednesday. Oh, no worries. I'm glad you're able to stop by. Sorry to keep you waiting, Fallen. Have a good time. Have fun. But yeah, I've actually caught up on YouTube. So if you didn't know, you can see full replays of every stream since the first one over on YouTube at our channel, which you can find the link here on my Twitch page. Yeah, you can find those, and there's a few other. We're working on getting some more different kinds of videos up there, but right now I think there's a compilation of a quick look at how I did my the Sonic blanket from not last year but the year before Games Done Quick, Summer Games Done Quick, and then also I have this year a short of my favorite pieces that I did over 2025. But I'd like to do more stuff like that as time allows. But we'll get there. But right now, I'm just proud of myself for catching back up out of the month plus hole that I had found myself in. All right, that was actually all the news that I had. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us started on warm up in a second here. Just a second. Let's go ahead and hop over to, well, let me get that ready first. All right, hopping over to Art View. I am bringing up our random Pokemon generator. There we go. All right. So, if you don't know, I like to warm up with drawing Pokemon. For a long time, I was just drawing a quick like sketch of like a sleeping Pokemon that I would randomly pick. But Frank, moderator extraordinaire, recommended that I do some Pokemon Fusion. So that's what I've been going on for a little while now, and it's been fun, and it's been an interesting challenge to kind of get me thinking art-wise after a day of basically just working a desk job. So let's just see what we get for our Pokemon tonight. Okay. Gosh. Sometimes they're just really interesting combinations. This is exciting. Pumpkaboo and Beware is what we drew tonight. So gonna go ahead and clear this on out and pull up my references real quick and get started. All right, got you in there. You are okay. And second reference incoming. Ooh, so tiny. I can kind of already see how these guys are going to go together, which I like it when that happens. Okay, label this layer over here. Pick a, I can do a purpley color for this one. Okay, so here's the deal. If you don't know, we do a 5-minute warm-up here. It's just going to be kind of a sketch, pencil-ish level, finish, nothing major, just really warming up and having a little bit of fun. I definitely encourage you to draw along. You are, of course, welcome to draw the Pokemon or do the fusion. But honestly, I encourage you just to draw literally anything. It could be something sitting right in front of you. Could be a silly sketch, but just do it. I think it's just fun. It's a good relaxing activity. Anyway, okay, so 5-minute timer starting now. I'm actually on the right layer, so that's always exciting. Boop. Hello. Okay, Clip Studio, we'll just do this then. Sometimes it decides it's gonna hang up. Just a moment. I'm gonna stop the timer since I can't actually be drawing right now. That's always good times. What is going on, Clip Studio? You ever just have one of those days? There we are. Okay. Game back on. Here we go. 4 minutes and 21 seconds. So I definitely think we got to go roundish body. The leaves in there. Yeah, I think we do it like this then. combine those, then we'll have that for the hair going on. Okay. Do we give it like the interesting thought? Okay, I do like these little like legs that Pumpkaboo had, but I'm gonna add them on like a coattail. I feel like I kind of like that idea. Okay, I really like this how this one's coming out. Actually, this may be my favorite mashup so far. Clean up a little bit. So what I really like about doing this exercise is that it really does force you to think about the shapes that compose each Pokemon. Which is so much of drawing. Clean up this eye a little bit. Okay, that is time right there. So we can go ahead and do pencils down. This is a fun one. I like this one. I'm just going to darken this a little bit. Yeah, just a little cleanup. Okay, yeah. And I already know the name. I figured it out. It's great. It practically names itself, y'all. Pumpkaboo. There we go. Oh, I like this one. Yay. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. To all my digital artist friends out there, make sure to save your work frequently. What, the 12th? All right. Okay. Got that saved. Okay. So art updates. Before we jump back into the horse, I've been working on the next set of characters in our giant like D&D party. Like, was it 23? 23, I think, if you count familiars and companions. So I'm just getting this guy. Got my flats in. I've started on some of the block shading before I soften it a little bit. But that is... Let's bring everybody out that I've got done so far. So these are all the finished characters I have so far. And then here's everybody else. I've got a little ways to go, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Overall, I'm pretty happy. When I actually remember to work on it, like every day or two, I can usually knock off most of a character in a day. So, in the little bit of art time that I have, so we'll get there. All right. So that is where that piece stands. And what we're going back into tonight is our Lunar New Year illustration. As I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, this has become kind of an annual tradition for me. If you don't know, we adopted one of our kids from China, so we've tried to incorporate some of their the holidays and celebrations into our family life. So this is, Lunar New Year, I feel like, is one of the biggest ones and kind of easiest to incorporate. It's one of the ones that it's very easy to find celebrations around you. And this was the first one of these that I did in 2020 for Year of the Rat. And then, let's see, I did what? Where's 21? Well, 21 was Year of the Ox, I think. Let's see. I know I've shown these before, but it's kind of nice to go through again. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, here's 2021. Then we've got 22 was Year of the Tiger. This is where I finally got back more into my stuff. Hey, Frank. Would you speak to your grandfather that way? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you would. That's fine. Who am I to judge? But yeah, then 23. So hey, Frank, good to see you. How you doing? Having a good night? 24. The dragon is one of my favorite ones that I've done, honestly. They came out really well. I was so happy with this one. You have to ditch this stream. Oh, you need to lay down. That's fair. That's fair. Whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, friend. But I'm happy to see you. And this was last year's illustration for Year of the Snake. All right, well, I hope it feels better. Get some rest, Frank. Have a good night. All right, so we're back to our horse. So Lunar Year 2026 will be the year of the Fire Horse, which I did, as a Pokemon fan, resist the urge to just draw Ponyta or Rapidash. So if you were here last week, we had a little bit of a fun time where I basically did all these shape studies. Horses are kind of notorious amongst a lot of artists as being one of the more difficult creatures to draw. I was actually talking about this with my critique group today. And it's because they're so recognizable. At least one of them suggested that because they're so recognizable, we know what a horse is supposed to look like in art. So it's easier for people to kind of spot when something is just not quite right. So what I did last week was I just did a basic shape study to kind of break down, what are the large shapes? What are the important details that make horses horsey? And so I played around with it a little bit and got some results. some better than others. I tried to, as you saw with the other Lunar New Year pieces, um, I kind of anthropomorphized them a little bit. So I was trying to see what I could do with that, with the horse, and kind of got to where I wanted to go. Not with these, but then that led to, not this. This are my references. This, which then, you know, I adjusted and darkened a little bit to get to this. Thinking like, okay, let's have the horse running on two legs, you know, holding the red envelopes. That's what it's holding. I'm really happy with the horse's face and mane and most of the body type. I did get some good suggestions from my critique group about how I could adjust the legs a little bit to probably tweak it. But I also share this with Ashlee and our kids, and the feedback there was perhaps maybe this one don't make quite so huge. Don't put in a human pose, like with a red envelope wedged between the clef in its hooves. Actually, it doesn't even really have that. It might not. Does it? I don't think horseshoes don't have like a thing in the middle. Maybe that's not even right. Anyway, all that being said, the recommendation there was that maybe it would be better served just to have it running on all fours as horse do, as a horse does, and have the, you know, maybe a saddlebag with the envelope, and maybe it could be holding an envelope in its teeth. So I like that, and I think I'm gonna go that direction. But I can salvage, I think, a lot of what I've got here. So I'm gonna duplicate the layer. And adjust a little bit. We're gonna do some surgery on it. Not, yeah, well, you know. Why have I lost music? What is going on? Fascinating. Just a moment. Don't know what's going on with that music. I'm gonna see if I can reload this. Okay, that was interesting. All right, now we got music again. Now we have music again. All right, so let's adjust this. I did, you know, since I duplicated this, I do tend to try to do my edits in a way that is non-destructive so that I can always get back what I had if I decide that I made a tragic error. So please don't be disturbed. I'm just gonna move this guy and just gonna maybe leave one of the trailing letters there as a reminder to myself. And there that goes. Okay. 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 So we're back here. What I did find is that the basic shape for a horse, it turns out, is like a bean shape, which is very handy to know. That's not what I want to do, tail. Tail I will work out shortly. Okay. We do have some references since I'm now totally changing this up. Can you add the red envelope? In the teeth. All right, that's pretty. So far, no tragedies, and I'm happy with that. All right, let's bring those references back just as a little bit of an assist here. What do horses run like? Great. Okay, I like that one. Knee joint is actually in a similar place here. Oh, you know what? Like, why am I having trouble? It's because the back of the horse is actually, and not having it, it's not even like level with the front shoulders, but there's like that kind of dip in the bean shape, like the literal saddle point. That's what I was missing. So that's why the back legs were hanging down much lower than the front legs. Okay, makes sense. You know, most people say it's crazy to try to draw something complicated for the first time on stream. I say, yes. But here I am anyway. I don't really know. I didn't really think about what I would say to that. Okay. Let's see. I do have a horse 3D model. I tried working from that last week. The legs are very hard to pose and get very bizarre very fast. So I opted to not do that thing. As you can see, there was a little bit. Hold on. I had to try to adjust for the legs not being in quite the right position, but that didn't quite go right either. So I opted to not do that particular 3D model. Although I think it's a really good model otherwise. I just had a hard time posing it. Okay. Anywho. This dip. This is actually even with the low point of the tummy. So more like that. but it's just a slight one because then the leg comes back this way. It's like, oh, you thought I was gonna go just one way? Well, you're wrong. Horses are challenging, man. That's all I gotta say. Also, the tail is too high. Okay, that back leg I'm not entirely satisfied with, but we'll figure this out in a second. And it also never hurts to look at more reference. It's better to look at a lot of reference than to just look at one thing. So let me do that. Okay. What I am seeing is that maybe this front leg should also be bent. This back front. And maybe a little more forward as well. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Okay. What's the best way to do this? I'm actually just gonna bring over a whole screen here. Okay, so really what I've done here essentially is I literally just Googled running horse, right? Like, simple enough. Okay, yeah. So what I'm seeing is, for example, you know, here you got these legs. I guess they're not that far forward. Here they're a little more forward. Here they're actually bent back at this joint, then this joint goes forward and this one. Okay, there's a lot of joints in a horse's leg. And the back legs are actually a little bit more tripoded in. Here's one where you've got one straight leg, one bent leg, 2 feet on the ground. Actually, that one might work. That type of pose might actually work with what I originally had for the back leg. Then you've got some here where you've got actually the legs are on one side up, and then the other ones are in the water. And then this one, oh, this one is my favorite, because if you imagine it standing still, it just looks like it's trying to walk on 2 feet, like a velociraptor. Sorry. Sorry, that just makes me laugh, that image of a horse walking around like that. Anyway, I'm getting way distracted. I'm really looking for what gives the best sense of motion. Oh hey, how to draw a horse. That's really helpful, guys, thanks. Where were you last week? But yeah, so what I'm seeing is front legs up and bent, very common. Either a little bit forward or sometimes, you know, this shoulder joint angled back, shoulder segment angled back a bit, and then back legs. Usually a little bit separated, but supporting / pushing. Anyway, that is what I am seeing, and I guess we'll attempt to go for here. So what I might do then is actually this leg is the one that I would change, because I did like that one pose where the back leg was a little bit back. It was this one. Ooh, teeny tiny. Whee! So we got a little bit of that. Actually, a little bit more tilt on the horse on that one. A little more bend to the front back leg. And the front forward leg is also a little bit more arched forward. Okay. Kind of a more, perhaps, beginning of the spring. So that would be something like just doing this really loose to get a feel for it. Actually, do these separately. Oh, nice. I like what they did with the song. Mixing in the OG Pokemon anime theme. And this is kind of a cool posture too, just like standing. Actually, it's hold up. You know it's my destiny, Pokemon. Oh, you're my best friend in a world we can't defend. You will pull us through. and I'll teach you Pokemon. Okay, I'm done, promise. Oh, I do like that. All right. All right. And the one other thing that they did here was they actually just took the whole thing. Oh, hold on. You know what? I realize, yeah. I definitely drew that on the wrong layer. So let's go ahead and get that fixed. There we go. Okay. So yeah, then let's just take the whole guy and give it a little upward tilt. Nope, that's not. Okay, I feel like this is getting there. I'm gonna make the head just a little bit bigger. Honestly, for first horse drawing, I'm pretty happy with how this one is coming along. There were some missteps early, and that's, So apparently I jostled the USB cord, so does my... Ah, yes. Delightful. Okay, you're fine. So I have jostled my webcam USB cord, which has therefore made OBS decide something is very wrong. So hey, look at that. I live. Well, that's good to know that I can just do that next time. Oh, goodness. What a day. What a night. Sounds like everybody maybe is having kind of that. Just a little bit. Okay. So then the next thing is the saddlebag. I actually don't care as much about the saddle itself. I just really want the bag. That's a weird way to say bag. I just want the bag. The horse bag. That's what I want. Horse bag. Okay, this will work. Something like this, I feel like will work. You can't see what I'm looking at, but it's this. Why am I being so obnoxious? Why am I like this? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so like that. So it doesn't have to have the actual thing there. It just kind of has the... I'm actually going to draw this on another layer over the top, just because I don't trust myself. Do we really need extra stuff on there? Maybe. It kind of makes it look a little bit... May have over perspective that. Okay. But I like the idea of where this is going. That's too big, that's better. Okay, get all that out of there. Let's make buckles on there, kind of like that. Let's have like, maybe have one of them lying out there just to kind of show what's going on. Maybe something like that. Hello, well, welcome in, Raiders. How's it going? My goodness. We don't usually get this kind of traffic here. Welcome on in. Hi. I hope you're having a good night. Thank you so much for stopping in, everybody. Thank you for the raid. Wow. Well, hey. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff. You can also call me Wags. And yeah, I'm drawing a horse for a year of the horse coming up. Lunar New Year starting on Tuesday. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you for the follows. Hello, everybody. Wow. You guys, I think this may be a record for my chat. This is amazing. I'm so happy to see you all. Where a main man turns into a pony. Yes, it is a horns. This is Clip Studio Paint. It is my preferred drawing program. It's great, and what's nice is you can actually own it and not have to pay a subscription. Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you. Oh, thank you for gifting the subs, you guys. Oh my goodness. If you received a gift sub, please make sure to thank the East Patch. Thank you, East Patch. That's amazing. And Angel did send you guys. I'm so happy to see you. How's everybody's night going? I'm looking over here because that's where my chat monitor is. but yeah, you're over here. Yeah, Clip Studio is great. And if you keep an eye out for when they run sales, you can get it for a really reasonable price. Yes, it does actually. Thank you so much. It does bring me to 2 of my goals. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. Thank you, Evil Ink. My goodness. I've tried messing around with Clip Studio's 3D models before a little bit. Actually, I did start this piece trying to work on that. Posing the 3D model of the horse proved a little bit problematic. I can show you. Yeah, so I was trying to do a different pose and moving the legs. It came out very, very cursed. I didn't do that. I'm instead doing this. But yeah, this is for Lunar New Year, Year of the Horse. Horses are hard. I actually did like a whole shape study last week to try to figure out. I hope you have a good one too, Nubby. Thank you so much. The leg needs a doctor. Yes, absolutely. I didn't name the horse. Maxie, what? Greg? We can name the horse Greg. Actually, fun fact. I'm Jeff with a G. Which very often people will just see the G and assume that my name is Greg. So like my first 2 weeks at my job, I was Greg. For an entire quarter of high school algebra, I was Greg. So yes, Greg the horse. The leg needs a priest. Any advice on drawing guidelines for drawing? Oh, thank you. I just like drawing. I've been doing it my whole life, so that's where I got it. Actually, I'm not great at horses. This is by far the best horse I've ever drawn. I did a study, so I pulled a bunch of references, which is, oh, that's the saddlebag, sorry. I pulled a bunch of references, which are always super helpful. So, like this was my whole last week. And then what I did is I did like a shape study on them. So I was like, okay, you know, you kind of trace over and you can just get a feel for the basic shapes that go into everything. Yes, that's exactly right. Beanie and a beanie. Yeah, they're beans. They are beans. That's the shape. That is the shape of the horse with the sticks attached to it in the head. 100%. Also, the East Patch. I didn't see that you also raided. Thank you for the raid, you guys. Wow, what a night. This is amazing. I'm so happy to see you guys here. Yeah, as you can see, my early attempts did not come out great. So I'm very happy that I kept at it and eventually got to this. Yes, so yeah, this is just kind of an annual tradition. One of our kids we adopted from China. So we work in celebrating the Lunar New Year as part of our family, kind of family traditions. So every year since 2020, I've been doing an illustration of the zodiac animal. Thank you so much, you guys. So yeah, like I think my favorite one that I did was 24, which is Year of the Dragon, which is this guy. And this is kind of the finished style that I'll probably be going for. Greg looks like he's ready to teach viewers about the importance of reading and phonics. Yes, they are very important. So yeah, this is probably my favorite zodiac animal that I did, the dragon. That one came out really well. Last year was the snake, and that was pretty good too. I was happy with it. Yeah, it came out all right. But it's definitely a learning experience because, yeah, I don't draw a lot of horses, so this was really quite quite the study. Thank you, Maxie. It's funny. I actually used to try to my wife and I used to try to do picture books. So I had a little bit more painterly style that I was trying for when I did my first one. So this was 2020, which was the year of the rat. That poor snake, light and throw. Yes, Gumby, absolutely. It needs to learn that lesson very, very well. But But yeah, it's been kind of an evolution. Then I like 21 was the ox. Yeah. So that was the ox. So it's starting to get back more cartoony already. And dumpling. Oh my gosh, Jowza, you guys, they're so good, so good. And then I think I finally embraced my cartoony style in 22 when I did Year of the Tiger. And some of these I really anthropomorphized. I tried that with the horse and didn't quite go great. Thank you, Beanie. Yeah, I did like how that rat came out. Yeah, and then what's the only one? I think that I just haven't shown 23. What was 23 again? Oh, the rabbit. 23 was the rabbit, which was actually making the dumplings. So thank you so much. So yeah, I just sketching out my horse, figuring it all out. I think I'm finally happy with the shape. Their legs have so many joints. Like, I was looking at some of the pictures, I'm like, there's a joint here and a joint here, and then like another one randomly here. Thank you so much, X Animations. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I finally got my sketch to somewhere where I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm about ready to start laying down some, well, maybe I could even go to inks at this point. I'm debating if I want to tighten up the sketch a little first. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. The only thing, Beanie, the only thing I think I can recommend for that kind of thing is like, you just have to look at a lot of reference. Like, that's the only way. Oh, the shading on the rat? How did I do that? I was using obviously more brush tools then, so I think that one I actually just, I just took the base color and saturated it and darkened it a little bit. Let's bring it up, yeah. Yeah, so I took a brush tool with, you know, I brought down the opacity a little bit, and then took this base kind of purplish gray that I had been using, and I saturated it and darkened it a bit, and then kind of just worked it in, tried to gradient it a little bit, and then in a few spots I did an eraser to get those clean edges. My advice for new artists is just keep drawing, because it's art isn't super easy. But if you like doing it, it's worth keeping at it. And the more you do it, the better you'll get. Yeah, exactly. Because it's the way that it usually works is that it looks terrible until it looks good. And actually, I saw this really interesting like graph that somebody did talking about how not only is your ability to draw growing as you draw, but your eye for art is growing as you draw. So like you'll go through these phases where like you think that everything you draw looks so good, and then all of a sudden you'll kind of turn a corner and grow with how you see it, and all of a sudden you'll be like, oh no, this looks terrible, and then your skill will have to catch back up. It's a whole journey. It's a journey. Yes, absolutely, Beanie. Show your art to others. Perfectionism is such a battle. Yeah, definitely, East Patch. It's really, it's just you can't get better at it without doing it. And I think stuff like what I was showing with the shape study. Oops, wrong ones. Like doing stuff like this sometimes, where you're just basically finding what you want to draw and looking for the shapes inside of it, the simplest shapes you can find. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have a whole thing I did. I make comics for kids with some friends for a thing we call CoreToons, and for our last, it's like a digital magazine, and for our last one that we did, I actually designed a whole activity on how to draw birds, but the entire point of it was to draw them using basic shapes. Yes, perfect. Yeah, perfect is the enemy of good. Flip your canvases. Yep. I'm not as good about doing that as I really should be. But yeah, isn't the reason for it like, because you are so used to drawing like with your right hand, your brain kind of, and the angle of your eyes, your brain kind of learns to compensate for it, so that you only really see what's off when you flip it. Yeah, Maxi, 100%. Practice makes progress. Well, there is no perfect, right? There is no perfect piece of art out there. There are amazing, amazing pieces of art, but nothing's perfect, because there will always be someone who looks at it and is like, I don't like that. There's no undeniably perfect thing. So draw what you like. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I actually did. This is like a sketch of the activity that I drew out. And the entire point of it is to do the basic shapes. So to put it all together and construct something, and kind of have fun with it, you know. And you can make fun combinations. We actually did a whole thing where we used like actual bird photos and then tried to replicate with that. Replicate the shape of like real birds, because you can use this to do realistic styles, you can use this to do cartoony styles, but it all comes down to like finding the basic shapes. Thank you, East Patch. Yeah, I agree, Beanie. Tracing is probably too demonized, because as long as you're not trying to pass off the work as like, yes, this is my own, tracing is how you learn. It's how you build muscle memory. Tracing or looking at something and trying to just draw, copy a reference exactly. The important thing is that you're not trying to claim the work as your own. You're really doing it as an exercise for yourself, to kind of learn. But by doing that, you build up tons and tons of muscle memory, and that helps you get to where you can start doing your own creations. But yeah, I think my best advice for new artists is draw every day as much as you can, and start looking at basic shapes and seeing what you can do with those before you do anything like crazy complicated. But then again, there's also value sometimes to just jumping in head first and trying something really hard, knowing that it's probably not going to come out. Oh, that's a really good, yeah, that's a good way to do it. There's actually, you can find a lot of pose reference online, even, it's good to do that. I haven't done as much figure drawing as I probably should, but yeah, anatomy is one of those things that will help no matter what style you do. Just knowing how bodies are put together and carry weight, even if you draw super cartoony, it still carries through a little bit. Yeah. Am I missing anything important, all my artists out there? How things move and how to properly break that. Yeah, there's no rules to art. Yes, that's absolutely true. I agree 100%. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, if it's off, it actually makes it better for being spooky. Yeah. All right, what I might do is go ahead and start. I feel pretty good. I think I can actually start inking, maybe. Let's try it. I can always adjust along the way. So I'm gonna use a vector layer for this. If you're not familiar with Clip Studio Paint, one of the best things about it is that you're able to both do traditional like raster style art, like a Photoshop type thing, but you can also have vector layers, like you would in Adobe Illustrator or something like that. It's Tribune, yeah. I think that's true of a lot of things actually, is like the rules are there, especially, and they're helpful as a learner. but like eventually, as you grow more experienced, you learn how and when to break them. You know what? I haven't tried Ibis Paint. I've heard others who use it, and from everything I've heard, it's a perfectly capable program. But I can't really speak to it from having used it. All right, so let's start laying down some inks. That might be too thick. Let's go down a little bit. So usually I like to do my kind of pencil sketch layer a little bit tighter than a lot of other artists do. So I'm just focusing like on my line weight when I get to my actual inking. Because line weight can make such a difference. So when I was saying vector layer, by the way, what I like about them is you can do stuff like this. You can actually adjust the lines you've already drawn a little bit. And the other, probably best part about it is you can scale them regardless of resolution really well. So I always do my lines in vector so I can scale the image. Yeah, absolutely, Beanie. I think for my best example of shape language, I like looking at like Emperor's New Groove, the Disney movie. They do such a good job with shape language there with the characters. It's really, really well done, and it gives you such an instant feel for the characters. It's true, yeah. We've come a long way. The only thing that I don't like about vector is the fact that it's really easy to get tempted to like start wanting to like overcorrect all your stuff. Like when you have the ability to change literally every point in a line, it's hard to know when to stop. Have I ever scrapped a project because I've lost interest or thought it wasn't good enough? Probably somewhere along the lines. But you know what ends up happening a lot of the time is actually it ends up not so much being totally scrapped, but like I just kind of put it on a shelf for a little while so I can come back to it when I'm feeling a little better. Sometimes I just need a little bit of time to think it through, or to kind of let it process in the back of my mind, or even like other pieces that I'll have done will teach me something that is then helpful for that one. I've heard it said that a lot of illustration, art, and design in general is just solving visual problems, and I think that's very true. And the other thing I would suggest, I mean, if you've lost interest in a project, I think you just need to take some time away from it and like recharge your battery. Maybe immerse yourself in the things that inspired you to take on that project in the first place. But if you are concerned that it's not good enough or isn't coming out how you want, one of the best things you can do actually is get critique. If you find people in a community that you trust, critique is going to be like your best friend. Just because other people's eyes can sometimes see what you're missing. Oh, this is the other part I love about vector, is I can do this. Whee! You can erase up to an intersection of lines, which is so handy. But yeah, we've tried doing the traditional publishing road with some of our graphic novel projects, so if you haven't done it before, you create what they call a pitch packet, which has like the synopsis of the story, summary of all these characters. You've got maybe a sample chapter of the manuscript, and then you've got sample art as well, which can be anywhere from 5 to, I've seen editors ask for 40 pages of like pencils, and then 2 to like 20 pages of finished art. So we've had some experience. Like, you submit that, then usually these days you have to go through an agent before most editors will take they won't take like just cold submissions. I don't like that thickness, that's too much. So then you have to go through these gatekeepers and get an agent. So then you're sending all these queries to agents, and it involves a lot of rejection. And we've had projects that we've just absolutely loved, but like just the rejection at some point is so much that we're like, okay, we need to put this in a drawer for a while. It's just hard, you know? But I think that's where going back to your inspiration for the project helps a whole lot. And again, critique, like having friends that you trust who are gonna like not rip you to shreds, but they're gonna say, oh, you know, when I see this, my eye gets stuck here. And it helps you find like what the thing is in your mind that's nagging at you when you look at it and you don't feel like it's good enough. So that's another helpful way to kind of get past it all. Okay, I'm liking it so far. Yeah, of course. As someone who used to draw only for myself, I just highly encourage all of you to, if you like to draw, like find some way to share it, whether you're just throwing it over on Instagram or sharing it with the community, like on Discord. Find somewhere to share your art, because it really opens up a whole new world for it. Yeah, that's true. I did not catch your name before. Fart Sunshine. That's fun to say. Yeah, timing is important. And sometimes you'll have part of a project that you'll just love, but then you realize that it doesn't actually fit the project and you have to scrap it, and it's hard. That's the phrase they use is sometimes you have to kill your darlings. Because sometimes the things that we really like, we try to force in, and they end up kind of distracting from like how concise and tight the project really should be. But what I find is that instead of totally killing them, I just kind of put them in a closet, and you know, they'll find a home somewhere else in a different project. Nice. So hey, I also am in Florida. I'm in sunshiny Orlando area. You know what? If it works, it works. But yeah, I also agree with the last part of that everybody needs breaks to redirect and recharge, honestly. I think the reason we make stuff is because we all enjoy art, we all enjoy stories. So sometimes it's really important to be ingesting those to kind of keep fueling you. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's fun. We actually just moved here in 2022. We were in Atlanta for a while. Before that, we lived like in DC area. We've had a few moves. I'm okay. I like Florida. I guess that comes with a caveat. Like we're kind of in. I would definitely say we're in the Disney bubble, which I like rather a lot. But I went to school in Tallahassee as well, so I'm not unfamiliar with Florida. Although I grew up much farther north, up in Wisconsin. So when I went to college, the humidity was an adjustment, but now I'm pretty used to it. Oh, nice. I haven't been back to Tallahassee for a long time, but I did really like it when I was there. All right, I like that so far. I think we're coming along. It hasn't changed, I promise. That's good. You know what? It's just a nice college town in a lot of ways. There's so much to enjoy there. I know I've heard a lot of people say like Tallahassee would definitely just be a tiny little town if it wasn't the capital, which I very much agree with. But because it's kind of still a little quaint, it has a real charm to it. Like I like, especially if you head up like on Old Bainbridge Road, the canopy roads out there are so nice. Okay, still looking okay? Are we still looking horse-like? I think so. All right. Oh, nice. Well, I'm really glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, it's really cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. The vector is really slick. If you're interested, Clip Studio, I think you can get. They have a trial. Like if you download it, you can do the trial. I can't remember how long it is. I thought I heard somewhere that it's really long. Like it can be up to like, is it 30 days, 6 months? I don't really remember. It's on their site. I would check it out if you want to mess around with it. Vector is just so handy. Oh, that's right. I was gonna angle this hoof down a little bit more. But yeah, you can even do things like adjust the thickness of a line you've already drawn in just parts of it. It's just really handy. It's much more forgiving than just the standard where you have to just erase and redraw completely. All right, I'm just gonna do that right now. And we'll come back and draw the saddlebag over it soon. Because I want to make sure that I've got the horse right first. I was gonna say, by the way, speaking of sharing art, any of you artists out there in chat, I encourage sharing. So if you have somewhere that you post your art that you would like everyone to check out, I believe link sharing is on, so please feel free to do that. I think it's great to be able to share your work with other people, and I like to be a place where people can do that. I like my channel to be a place. I am not a place. I'm a person. Second. They have that extra joint there. Okay. Horsey is coming along. Tell you what, I have been, before I started this last week, I was getting very nervous realizing like, oh, it's Year of the Horse. Just because they're so notoriously hard amongst artists. But with some work, it's turned out okay. Now, do I want the whole tail trailing off the page? I do have some room. You know what? I've got room. I should move this over. Let's do that. Let's scoot you guys on over. He needs to be more centered on the page anyway. Greg, right? We named him Greg. I can't forget. Never forget Greg. Is that how I want to go? I think that's okay. Let's touch up this. That. Can tweak some of these guys so I don't have like the little bumps in there. Are we looking almost better? Better. Okay, I like that. That's good. Write Greg in a semi-small font in the corner or something so I don't forget. Like that. Yeah, well, that would be awesome to see you guys back again. Thank you so much for stopping by, Fart Sunshine. It's been good chatting with you. Yeah, I should definitely write Greg somewhere on here. Maybe on, oh, what if his name was on the saddlebag? That would be funny. I don't know. But have a good night. Thank you so much, and yeah, thank you for the sub, and yeah, y'all made my night with the raids and everybody stopping by. Thank you. Okay, let's see, where are we at? Property of Greg. Yes. I like it. Okay, so. Wait, how did I? I think that's pretty good. So then I'll want, we got this line, kind of this boundary where it meets the actual saddlebag. And that'll transition into the kind of open flap. Oh, thank you so much. I'm happy you're here. You know what? I think drawing is so, it's just like therapeutic for me. It's relaxing. It's fun. I'm excited if you've been inspired to do that or motivated to do that. So thank you for asking, and thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to come by sometime and show me what you're working on. I'd love to see it. So I know I'm going to have the letter coming out, but I want to at least get this shape drawn in. Okay, think that's coming along. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. What are you drawing anything in particular? Just doodling for fun? Actually, I should. So there's a latch here. It would go something like that. So then we'll erase. Yep, that's too much. Whoa, that's, yeah, photo drawing that is hard stuff, man. But it's really good practice. Nice. Do you have anywhere that you share your work? That you post? Maxie? Oh, man. It's been a long time. I've done some, like probably I hate to admit this, the most recent version of it I've probably done are like with my kids. When you get those like scratch off things, they have like a lot of times they'll have like a rainbow color underneath, and it's like the black paint, and you just scratch it off. I've done some of those more recently within the last few years, but no, I haven't worked a lot with the negative space type stuff. It looks really fun though. I always see it, I'm like, oh, I should do that, and then I always forget to do it. Cool, yeah, I will. Yeah, as I was saying, I encourage you to share your stuff if you feel up for it, because that's a good way to grow, and it's also, I don't know, I think it's cool. People, a lot of times you will be amazed. People will see it and be like, hey, that looks really cool. It's kind of like a bit of a confidence boost, but also just validation. Nice to share. Okay, that's good. Maybe I'll have like a little bit more of an opening on the saddlebag, like a dip in it like that, so that it's actually, this might not even matter because I'm gonna have the letter coming out, the red envelope. Okay. Another thing that I've learned as I've done more and more art and worked at it is a lot of times the difference between things that look kind of rough and things that look really good is just that you stuck with it. If you stick with it and keep polishing and adding the little bits, sometimes you'll be surprised how far something can grow. Maybe not. Yeah, that angle is weird coming out like that. So what if I just have it? Something like this. Make sure these guys intersect. Actually, let me clear out these lines first. There we go. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. We're coming along. That one's not quite right, that angle. Let's fix that. That got a little wobbly. Okay, I think that's a little better. Try a couple of buckles on here. Okay. Bring our brush size down and kind of give a little bit of depth to this. Okay. Just draw a few more red letters, and I think we're pretty well done with inks. Clean up these edges. Might adjust that position a little bit. We're kind of almost tangenting there. Oh, that's a piece of advice I could have given. Try to avoid tangents. Oh, I have one right here too. Oh my gosh. Right there, staring me in the face. If anyone out there is curious about tangents, what a tangent is like when you get something like this, where you've got like a line that just touches another line. So like, say you've got, you know, a person, let's make them like a surprise person. And you got a hat. If you draw the hat at like a tangent, you can't really tell, like, are they wearing the hat? Is the hat like blowing off of their head? It makes it hard to tell like depth or any of that stuff. Yeah. I'm trying specifications to specifically avoid them. Yeah, so it just makes it hard to tell the relative depth of things. So it's better if you can do something more like, you know, if it's blowing off its head, like, oh no, or if they're wearing the hat, you know, make sure it overlaps, at least not like that, at least a little bit, so you can see very clearly it's in front. I I know the guidance about tangents, but I'm not always great at catching all of mine. So I say that. Didn't erase the wrong one. No worries, it's all good. Especially, oh, so you're saying especially when trying to specifically avoid them? Yeah. It's one of the things that if you do critique, if you do have people kind of critique, most artists and illustrators will immediately catch all your tangents. And you'll be like, no, I thought I had them all, but no. Okay, I can't promise it's gonna make it into the final illustration, but for tonight, I'm at least gonna do this. There we go. This way, I will not forget the name, Maxi. There we go. I'll probably take it out in the final illustration just to kind of keep it more consistent with the others, but I like it. I like it here right now. It's official. Greg is in the books. All right. Well, I think one more envelope probably. It's one of the fun things that you'll find. It's one of the rules that they tell you about a lot in like kids story writing. It's called the rule of 3, which it's not a hard and fast rule, but it just generally states that things are more satisfying in 3s. Exactly. Yeah, it's surprising how easy it is to draw tangents and how many like right here, for example, like that one. I'm sure I've got another somewhere. There's you. Okay. I'm sure there's more in here. Like I very nearly got one here with this line meeting on there. Almost one right here with the envelope. Really close calls on some of these. But oh, but you know what I shouldn't do? Here's the question. So the number 4 is not considered a lucky, it's considered a very inauspicious number. So I shouldn't have 4, but I'm questioning whether if I draw another one, does it look like 4 that are flying out, or would I count the one in the horse's mouth, in Greg's mouth? Sorry. So rude. So rude. Didn't mean to leave you out, Greg. No, actually, also this buckle is in a weird spot. That needs to be more centered. That's better. Maybe a little more? Yeah, I think so. Maybe I just need to draw 2 more so there's no question. Then it's either 5 or 6, not 4 or 5. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Rietzela. Yeah. I think 2 more is a good idea. I think that's one of the things that is interesting about drawing for like a culture that you did not grow up with, is that you kind of have to be super vigilant and I'm not saying that I'm perfect at this, but like, because it's just as easy to accidentally, you know, kind of give the wrong impression. I mean, this isn't, I'm not trying to copy like an actual, like a full Chinese style or anything. So it's, but celebrating the Lunar New Year, at least, I do want to at least be respectful of kind of just some of the general conventions. Maybe here, because then I got like get kind of that nice like flow to it. I do agree. Yeah, I think people will oftentimes respect the effort in general. I'm going to move this a little more. I'm going to tangent it. I know it. I know it's going to happen. Actually, more like that. See, this is what I love about vector, is that I can just kind of rough in the shape and clean it up. I can focus more on getting the line that I want instead of having it end exactly where it needs to. That's handy. All right. All right, I think I can actually turn off my sketch layers. Oh, I am gonna darken just the tops of these straps. Just so it fits in with the rest of the outline. With the rest of Greg's silhouette. Okay. Okay. Honestly, I am pretty happy with this. Going on down here, clean these guys up a little bit. This is where the perfectionism can become a battle. Whoopsie daisy, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, like you don't want to sit and correct every pixel or every vertex that you have, but it is nice to be able to clean up a little bit. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with where we have landed. I think we're approaching midnight here in beautiful Orlando, and as I do have a day job that I work, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for the night. Gosh, I was so lucky to have raiders. I think I should probably pay it forward. I don't raid a lot. So if you'll bear with me while I figure that out. So what I'll do... Alright. Switch it over to... That's not right. There we go. Switch it over to the just chatting view for a second. Alright, I'm gonna look for somebody to raid. What should we say? Greg the horse, I think, is what we should say. What do you think? Do you think that's good? Ba, 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 ba. What do you guys feel like? Do you feel like heading to another artist? What do we feel like? Greg the horse. All right, let's go with Greg the horse. That will be our raid message. Art's cool. All right, let's find an art stream. Let's see. Who is on? Let's see. This looks cool. All right. Let's try. We're gonna try Rheosaur, who I have never been to their stream before, but I like the look of what they're working on. So we're gonna do that. Okay. So I always have my things to do before I dip out. So yeah, if you enjoyed tonight, I do usually stream Thursday nights, starting at 10 Eastern. Which that's my schedule there. If you like what you see and want to check out more of like my portfolio or some of our other work, although we're kind of dead on socials, you can find our socials at WagWorksGA on Instagram and YouTube. Full stream recordings are actually over there on YouTube if you want to see past work. And I have a few summary videos up. I'm working on doing more of that type of thing. And then yeah, my actual portfolio, some more of my stuff is over at wagworksga.com. Yeah, so there's all that. And with all that, let's go ahead and do the raid. Good times. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming by. It has been wonderful having you. Yeah, I've just made my night with the raid and everybody hanging out and talking art. This is what I love about doing this on Twitch. It's like a big art studio, and it's super duper fun. So thanks again, everybody, for coming by. I hope you have a great night. I hope you have a great week. I hope to see y'all again. Yeah, all right. With that, I'm gonna go to stream ending screen and raid. So thank you again, everybody, and good night.
Purse or wallet for her, and no.
Come on, that sounded creepy.
all good, all good.
Welcome.
Hi guys, I hope you were having a good stream. Oh, did y'all work on art, play games? Hope you had fun though, and also welcome. We are doing a double stream. I'm doing a stream with my friend Erin. You could check out her stream uh, through the link in my stream title. We are both working on a stamp rally together that we will be debuting in Game On Expo in mid-March in Arizona. And if you're a fan of Cowboys and Dragon Age, the stamp rally is for you. kind of art were y'all working on?
Oh, I love all the howdies for the cowboy
Yeah,
theme.
actually,
That's so cute.
oh yeah, howdy. I'm seeing a lot of Greg the horses. Who is Greg the horse? Oh, there we go.
Oh.
And was that horse named Greg? Yes. He is a horse. Hell yeah. We love a horse named Greg.
Yes.
That is a good name
And
for a horse. Of
absolutely.
course, of course.
Whoops.
Sometimes my keyboard decides to not work on me, and I don't know why. What the heck? Okay.
Just once in a while, which is why I had to reset my tablet. It just doesn't want to recognize any touch controls. And
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, man.
I don't know what's happening. What the heck? Ooh. The dazzling man I'm drawing, his name is Emric, and he is from Dragon Age. Um, he is an old man, because in Dragon Age you can create a character, and I like drawing him and my character a lot. He is an old man, and my character is an elven twink, so here is something I worked on with both of them, and it's an animation. Let me lower my music. Where is it? Actually, I don't know if you're gonna hear this sound because I had to switch my audio a lot for this stream. Let's see. Hopefully it works. But yeah, this is my cowboy twink. That's part of the stamp reality. Let's see. Oh, I don't think they can hear it. Hold up. Let's see. The one and only Dawn. Thank you, thank you. Let's see how I get my... I guess I will just put this in properties. And then just go. Alright. Hopefully everyone can hear the animation.
You care about me? Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh my god, why is it laggy?
That's not what we're discussing.
There's so
Oh,
many
no.
layers of this animation.
You care about me?
Okay, maybe it'll run better.
So
No, it's still laggy!
That's not what we're discussing.
Oh, Dawn,
No!
please.
Well, that's what I was working on. Oh no! It's so laggy! I need to start. I think I need to start merging layers together. Oof. But I need to go back and render it. Yeah, I think it's time to merge some layers. Let me see.
Care about me?
Why are you laggy?
That's so sweet.
Okay, I just have to... Nope. I'm so sad it's so laggy. Thank you, Maxi boy. It could also be because I have a lot of files open. I'm gonna turn off the sound. God, why is it... Oh, it is lagging. It is chugging. Oh no.
It's doing its best.
It's doing its best. I know when I export the video, it'll play normally. I think it's just I have so many layers
Yeah.
in this animation.
And then also whatever other Stamp
Yeah.
Rally stuff you're working on.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what it is. Damn.
And also the streaming.
And oh my god, you're right. It's probably... Oh. The render on Dawn's... Thank you. I'm tucking hair behind my ear as I said that. Oh my god, rendering is fucking glove. I don't... And you know what, guys? Don't know why I'm doing that. I'm going way too extra on this animation. I'm putting shadows. I'm rendering everything. I want...
Oh, that is a
Because
really good render.
thank you!
Whoa.
And it moves too. And like, why am I going? I'm going way too extra on this animation. And the whole point of this animation was to teach myself lip syncing. And I'm like, and what if and
It's so awesome though.
the background was not supposed to be part of it. I just keep adding shit. And I don't know if you were there, but I remember that 3 hour stream of just me moving the fringe.
Oh, you've told me about it, but I wasn't there for
Ah!
it.
And it wasn't even colored in. I'm like, guys, we did something today. Oh. I finally realized that Aster has a stethoscope around their neck.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have it active earlier, but I think it was after you went on your dinner break and then I put it back in.
We discovered Ria's hand glove kick. I don't even have active. I'm just very extra. You know, maybe I do. I do actually like the one characters wear like tight leather gloves, but it's not even like it makes me feel anything. I just think it looks cool. Because thinking about it now, I'm like, I do like Majima. And when there's like in the latest game, you could dress him up and put him in anything. He doesn't have to wear his gloves. But I'm like, I don't. He needs his gloves. I don't like seeing his
Hmm.
bare hands. It feels like I'm seeing his toes for free, but it's his fingers.
No.